Okay, sorry you guys. Sorry on YouTube. Um, but whenever my phone rings, it just knocks everything off. But I won't be too much longer because I know I said no, this won't be long today. I won't be too much longer, but it's very important that if you think that it's time to put up for fall, just go to the list and see what all quick. Even if you have like frost coming soon, you can still grow some quick vegetables. But it's always great to just write down what you want to accomplish for the week. So that was the purpose of me saying, okay, let me share with y'all what I'm growing this week, and let me also share with you some things that you want to keep in mind, especially when it comes to planting your garden, because we can think that we can have a space and we can say, okay, I'm going to put 7 cabbage plants here, and I'm just using that as an example. So we can say I'm going to put 7 cabbage plants here, but then when you go back out, something is going on. So now you may have to pull it, or you may have to do something different. So that's why I always plant more than what I need. Yes, growing with Donnie. So every time somebody calls my phone, it knocks everything off. So I'm going to put a text message to my family and let them know. I'm going to give them the schedule. Now, although they know the schedule, every Monday at noon and every Friday at 6, we'll always have someone that say, well, let me just see. So I'm going to send them out a schedule, and I'm going to tell them why I'm sending them out the schedule. And if they want to join, they can definitely join. But I just wanted to close with that. Like, write down your accomplishments for the week. If you're going to start from seed, just plant a few more than what you think you'll need, because guess what, y'all? You can always give it away, or you can always, maybe put it in a pot, but you'll have like a standby. And so, again, with root vegetables like the carrots that I have to do, it's a little bit harder, but that's why it's great to stay on top. Always check, like we're constantly checking, so that we can notice it before it's too late. And, go ahead and like change a plan of action and say, okay, I am going to do XYZ instead. I just think that's so important, and especially with us, even with the transplants, let's go and just make sure we keeping an eye on it, making sure it's adapting to the new place, making sure it's getting the amount of sun, because I'm going to tell y'all this story, and then I promise you I'm going to go. I promise. So I have tea plants, and tea plants that you make like actual tea with, but it takes like a couple of years for you to be able to harvest and make tea. But I have them like under a tree where it gets morning shade. But this is what happened. So my husband had to weed eat in that area, and I moved the plants like up to where, like on the patio, just for the time being, but I forgot to take them back down there. And I can already see that the leaves are starting to burn, and I'm like, no, I got to take those and put them back in the space. So I'm saying that, like, a lot of times when we do transplants or when we move something, we want to keep an eye on it. Now, this was not intentional. I just moved it so he could weed eat, but I immediately start to notice that the tea plant did not like the new place. It's getting too much sun. I need to put it back under the tree where it gets like dappled, dappled sun, but it's not too much to where it'll start burning the leaves, because the leaves are literally burning. So even when I'm going to grow something different in a different place, I'll constantly check on it for like a week or two, just to make sure that it's adjusting okay, that it is comfortable, with where it likes, because although a lot of plants may say full sun, it depends on where you're at. Full sun may be too much for that plant. It's a lot of my plants that really appreciate like an afternoon place that has a little bit of shade, because it's so hot, it's so humid, the sun is beaming down on it so long that it prefers, you just have to like move plants around until you find like that perfect spot, and you'll find it, I'm telling you, and they'll love it, and they'll start growing, and they'll thank you for it. So that's what we're doing this week. Remember to text the word "Let's Grow" to LETS. Text the word LETS GROW to 474747. That way you'll be notified when when we go live, when we have specials, when we have, and make sure you download the cool vegetable guide. So it's some vegetables that you can still grow even with flowers. um, the pansies, they like cooler weather. The snapdragons, they like cooler weather. And I see all the mums that are out. Mums are actually perennials for us here. Some of mine are coming back, but I failed to trim them, so they look leggy. Yes, container gardening is such a great option, Yankee Sister, because you that way you can move things around and put them like in the right spot and see what they like. And then, like I was sharing with you also last week, when a lot of people were saying, I don't want to start a garden now because I will, because I got to move. Well, if you got container gardens, load it up, load it right on up, and take that container with you and find the perfect spot. I'll replant my kale and collard. Yes, Jewel, and let me know how it's going with that. But you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Is it too late to sow snapdragons? Not for me, because the snapdragon, see, we're still like in the, I would say the 80s. It may get up to the upper 80s so it's not too late. Now the snapdragons, me personally, I'll probably go ahead and soil block those, because if y'all ever seen those snapdragon seeds, it's like a speck of dust or something. So I probably like soil block those as well. A lot of people ask me, how do I determine how I start stuff? So smaller seeds, normally I'll soil block it. Bigger seeds, normally I'll put them in the cell trays. And then like the root vegetables, I'll just like direct sow that. I'll direct sow radish, things like that. It just depends, y'all. It really just depends on like what I have going on inside, the time of the year it is. But snapdragons, if your weather is starting to cool down, you can definitely direct sow it if you want to. But we're still hot here, and they did okay. Like our snapdragons actually lasted up until about May of last year, and then they started to go to seed as well. So but I love snapdragons, I love pansies, and a lot of the spring flowers they're starting to put back out too, because they can appreciate it. Like I'll tell you, a lot of our petunias and our calibrachoas, they are starting to flourish again. It's just something about our growing. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff here in zone 8B in the summertime, they just want to hold on. They just want to hold on and just try to make it through. Now that the weather is cooling, they are starting to really flourish. The snapdragons are seriously like a speck of dust. Like yeah. I actually like take little toothpicks and just like soil block. They are very small, which is why you'll notice they put them in that little bag, like that wax paper bag, because they are super, super small, but very pretty flowers with a big impact as well. So you guys take care. I'm going to go ahead and jump on off. Remember, we will be Friday at 6 o'clock if everything goes well. Just make sure you get on the text list or the email list, so that way, just in case you forget, we'll send out a notification just to, kind of remind you. If it's a question that you have, don't hesitate to reach out to me, DM me, and we'll talk about it. So you guys take care, be safe, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you all so much for your time. Bye-bye. Same to you, Yankee Sister. Stay well, be blessed, and yes, we'll talk again soon.